Well, it's kind of hard to believe it, but I have now been a furry for 3 months. My original plan of being a furry for 6 months and then deciding whether I wanted to continue in the fandom and have a fursuit, well, as I said, that went out the window week 3. I got the fursuit after 1 month. And it is interesting to look back at my first 3 months of videos, my first 12 weeks, and I figured now that we're 3 months into this fandom, now that I feel like I'm part and I'm not leaving it at all, I'm just gonna say not leaving it at all, and I do feel like I've become a great big part of it now, and that I could see a future for me in this fandom. I think now would be the perfect time to go back and review my first 3 months as a furry. Hopefully that looked like 3. So week 1 was obviously the week I was watching Finn the Panther videos. I saw his video about what a fursona was like. Personally, I liked the idea of having the fursona be an idealized version of me. And I joined his Discord server. And for about a week, I was chatting to people in the Discord server. That was pretty much it. But at the end of that week, I made contact with the Rhode Island Furs, my local group, to try to get involved with them as well. Make some real life connections. And I still remember, though, at the end of that week, my confidence had not yet returned. So I was scared about contacting the Rhode Island Furs. I watched the movie Balto in the Discord server, in the Panthers Discord server, but while everyone was commenting and making jokes, I said nothing until just goodbye at the end. That has changed completely. In the second week, I was more chatting with people. I was more talking. I was starting to come out of my shell. I was working on my design. There's those designs you saw in the first month, the first couple of videos. And yes, I did make my first YouTube video as a furry. And I didn't have the suit yet, so I was using, if you go back and look, the just designs displayed on my TV. And then I later, of course, remade the week 1, 2, and 4 videos after being in the fandom for 1 month. So I did do sort of like a week 4 wasn't so much of a 1 month review. There was a 1 month review in there, but this is much more of a review of my first 12 weeks. Because that third week, as you'll remember, that was when I noticed this wasn't changing. This was not going to be a 6-month trial period. Because that was the week I went to my first fur meet. That was the time when I finally went and saw furries IRL, walked with them in their fursuits, was, as I now know, a handler definitely, even if that wasn't my intention. And yeah, just what I thought was fear was clearly jealousy, because all I could think that night was I wanted a fursuit. A week later, I made my 1 month wrap up about how now I had realized that I was going to be in this, that this was something I was going to love and something I was going to be doing for probably the rest of my life. And then, of course, there was the 5th week after that. That 5th week, I met friends who, now is, I don't know, Photo Shoot, Dasher, Milky Way, Ivy. They're all friends that I meet with IRL. We go to the park together in our fursuits, and we see each other at events. It's just, they're my first friends, especially Photo Shoot, who just, I made a connection with. And that was great. And that happened during my 5th week, where I met them at a Dave and Buster's here in Providence. And later that week, I went and I got this fursuit. And I tried it on. And I remember walking around in it outside. It was stupid, I know. 3 a.m. at night. Only did it for 3 nights, then I stopped. But I'll talk about that in a second. Because later that week, I went to my first fur bowl. And it was an insane experience to go to the fur bowl 5 weeks into the fandom, wearing a fursuit, being with all these other fursuiters. And that was really like the first moment where I was like, I can do this. Week 6, I started going to more events. Week 7, I had that dog walk, which was like my first, like, not my first public event, but it was like the first event where the camera came out and where I started recording the YouTube videos of me fursuiting. And then we've had so many after that. We had a dog walk, which the videos are up for now. We had some fursuiting. I have some fursuiting videos in New Hampshire. So yeah, I remember the New Hampshire day where I was essentially challenging myself to do this more publicly myself. And what I did was took out the head, put it on, took the picture break, took it off the first day. The second day I was starting out that way, but when someone finally pulled over and asked me for a photo, a first for me, I put the head back on. I got a little confidence, and for the rest of the day, I put the head on. I would slowly walk to the paper to take the picture, and I would not be in a rush to take the head back at my car. I'd walk back leisurely like, hey, I'm just someone in a fursuit, and I'd get asked for 2 more photos while I was taking those images that I do think came out great. And by that point in time, I had shot my dog video, which just blew up on TikTok, and started doing TikTok live streams. That's now a weekly thing for me. Every Monday night, I'm live on TikTok to followers. I just had my best TikTok stream yet. Of course, there are the real life things. First of all, how have I been helped real life? Well, my confidence is up. I'm actually singing in public again. I'm not going to do it here on YouTube yet, but like I'll sing in public. I've been practicing my singing. That's not something I've done in a decade. But like I'll even sing out in public, not in the fursuit, but just like walking around, just turn on some tunes and sing along with it if I can. My voice is bad, but it's getting better. But I have the confidence to do that now because of all the events I've gone to. And yes, you will now see that there is a video on my YouTube of me walking around. It's actually 3 minutes short. I didn't upload the full 5.5 minutes. That's on TikTok. But yeah, I walked on the main road with the fursuit on during the day this time. So people were going to see it. So it was safer because it was during the day. People saw me. My landlord has seen me in the suit now. My next door neighbor has seen me in the suit now. Everyone in the neighborhood has seen me in the suit now. And it's just a big confidence boost because that was easily the most scared I've ever been to put on the suit. Because I was just essentially revealing myself to my whole neighborhood as a furry and a fursuiter. I have a feeling some people around here already knew because I was making that same walk and there was talk of someone walking around in a fursuit at 3 a.m. So I just wanted to put that to bed. I'm not doing that anymore. But I did that by walking around at noon. There have been, of course, challenges here in the furry fandom, even past the first week. There was the video I had in week 9, where, although it was technically medicine-induced because I was late with my meds, still, it forced me to ask the question of being a furry, if being a furry really was right, if I really belonged in this fandom, which I can now answer with a triumphant yes, I belong in the furry fandom. I'm still working on myself. I'm still new, but I belong here. I am a furry. I am a fursuiter. This is something I'm going to be doing for a long time. I mean, come on, guys. We're 1 month away from Furpocalypse. I remember going to apple picking 2 weeks ago and being surrounded by there were 131 furries there, guys, and so many fursuiters, and just feeling comfortable being there. And that same group has the big giant furry picnic this Saturday that I'm going to. And you better believe I'm going to make a great video out of that, because the apple picking has been my most successful YouTube video yet. So if it's even more furries at a giant picnic in Boston, well, I'm expecting that to be a great video too. Now, obviously, I've had some duds, like the bowling videos aren't that great. I'm practicing taking videos now, and basically, like, the bowling videos, like, I'm just gonna abandon those. The dog walk video came out great, so those are up. The Boston walk video from several weeks ago, again, I don't really see a way to do that, to save that. I could reframe it, but it's just another walk video in the end. The dog walk video, that's not just another walk video. It is fursuiting with friends, Kinzo Wolf, Magic. They're people from Connecticut. And Kinzo Wolf's like a TikToker. I'm trying to see if we can do a collab. Of course, there is Orlando, or Peter Britton, as he's known on YouTube. And he is now on TikTok. I convinced him to join TikTok with me so that he could do a live stream with me at some point. I'm going to get him on one of my TikTok live streams. It's like, I don't know where this confidence came from. IRL, I am using this in my new job. This is the last week of classroom training for my new job, which I actually have to leave for in a few minutes. But I've had the confidence in there to say, not, I think I can get this, but I will get this. And yes, some of my coworkers know I'm a furry. 3 of them. One of my supervisors, my buddy that they give me here to like help me guide, start. And then of course, I'll be working from home like I was at CVS in a couple weeks. But then the whole challenge there is I have no vacation, so I'll only be at FurPoc and Anther New England for the weekend days, but I'll still be there for the weekend days, which is something. It's my first FurCon. It's coming close. And then, of course, I have Anther New England. I've been talking to someone about Furcation Land, and by Furcation Land, I might have this 6-month contract, so I might be permanently hired by then. And, of course, there is the dream of getting out, of celebrating 1 year as a furry, essentially pushing the Furry for 52 series out a couple weeks to like Furry for 54 or Furry for 55, and ending the series at Anthrocon. Wouldn't that be something? And that's now become maybe it's now turned into a goal to get out to Anthrocon. I still want to see how I handle for Apocalypse and Anther New England, but with all the new confidence I have found as a furry, I think I can. I've gone from being worried about Furpocalypse to, is it time to go to Furpocalypse yet? Who knows where this is going to take me? I certainly don't. I mean, I never imagined I would be this popular on TikTok or want to be a popufur. But I'm ready to admit I do, you know? So I'm going to keep doing these weekly videos. I'm going to keep doing weekly TikTok. I'm going to upgrade to an X5. I asked for that. I asked for that for Christmas. But, you know, I'll just say that these have been a crazy but a great first few months. I'm still planning to make that 2024 versus 2025 video. I'm going to do it after Furpocalypse because it was November of 2024 when my life started turning back around. So why not do it in November of 2025 instead? Do a full year. That's my plan. I've got the Wolf Game video coming out, obviously, and then I'm just going to take a breath because my final is on Friday for this new job. But Saturday, to celebrate finishing the classroom training, I've got that giant for a picnic. You know my camera will be there. You know I'll make great videos out of it. I'll talk about it on my Monday live stream. I've got the Telegram going, so join the Telegram, and I will see you out there, fellow furries.